the best Christmas ever.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the times ghosts US unexpectedly hit us in the feels with tears of joy and sadness.
It's just nice to have someone to share my actual feelings with.
If you're not caught up, don't get haunted by spoilers. Number 10, the escarghost. After Jay steps on a snail, turning it into a ghost, the Woodstone dwellers decide to take it into their care. Everyone's invested, except Trevor, who shrugs off the whole pet attachment thing.
No, I understand what a pet is. I'm just not interested in having one. It's dumb.
Wasn't your obituary photo of you and your dog?
That was my parents' dog, and honestly, I wasn't that into him. You have to walk them and pick up their crap.
When the ghostly snail goes missing, suspicion falls on Thorfinn, who had been pretty keen on eating it. But then Trevor confesses to taking it. Why would someone so uninterested in pets steal it? Turns out he hadn't been entirely honest before.
But then one day, the day I died, I never came home. I just feel so guilty. He was never anything but loyal to me, and I let him down.
In one of Trevor's few sentimental moments, we learn that he's still grappling with guilt and sadness over being separated from his dog Bucky. In the end, Trevor faces his emotions, which ultimately helps the snail move on.
Maybe I can't say it to Bucky, but I could say it to you. You're a good boy.
Oh my God. It's happening.
Number 9, Sam reunites with her mom. Sam and her mom had a complicated relationship in life, and death hasn't exactly changed that.
We're sorry about your mom, Sam.
Thank you. It was 6 years ago. Honestly, I'm excited. I never got a chance to say goodbye, and now I might get to see her, so that's amazing.
Determined to seize a rare chance, Sam and Jay visit the restaurant where her mom passed, hoping she's become a ghost. The reunion starts off strong, but quickly falls into old patterns, leaving Sam frustrated.
Not even my lies are good enough for you.
Your lies?
Yes, I don't work for the New York Times. I just said that because I wanted you to admit you were wrong about the whole journalism thing. But apparently nothing I ever do will be good enough for you, Mom.
Thanks to another restaurant ghost, Sam learns what her mom truly thinks of her. This time, she even gets to say goodbye. It's a gift most people can only dream of, making their reconnection deeply touching.
You've turned out amazingly. I'm so proud of you. The criticism worked.
Bye, Mom.
Goodbye, honey.
In a later episode, Hetty confronts her regrets about parenting and sees a chance for a do-over with Sam. Sam welcomes Hetty as her second mom, with boundaries, of course.
Well, maybe this is a second chance for both of us.
That's a nice way to think of it.
So you'll agree to always listen to me from now on?
Only if you agree to let me make my own mistakes when I disagree, because sometimes they're not mistakes, and I know what I'm talking about.
Number 8, Hetty's possession confession. This is the first time we see one of the ghosts take possession of a living. Hetty soon gets very comfortable in her, or should we say Jay's body, and refuses to be exorcised.
Oh, boiled calf's head. Herring pudding, eel pie, beaver tail, and squab.
Naturally, this leads to some hilariously chaotic moments, not to mention an outstanding performance by Utkarsh Ambudkar. Eventually, Hetty confesses all her regrets over not living her life to the fullest.
I didn't live the life I should have. There's so many things I didn't get to do. I've never been to Paris.
Okay?
Well, now I have another chance, and I'm not going to waste it.
However, while trying to make a break for it in Sam and Jay's car, she forgets the cardinal rule for most ghosts. They can't leave the property. When Hetty says au revoir to her dreams, she encourages Sam to learn from her mistakes.
Don't live your life with regrets, Samantha. Go after your dreams, because you are only here for a short time. If you're lucky.
That's good advice.
Number 7, Statue Sam. Historically, Puritans weren't known for being fun. Struggling with modern life, Patience puts Sam on trial for witchcraft. The ghosts initially play along. What's a few moments out of eternity, right?
The group has spoken. Sam is a witch. And Patience, once again, thank you for a delightful diversion. This was fun.
She had been convicted. Now for the punishment.
Oh, okay. There's a part 2.
However, they panic when they find a statue that looks just like Sam, whom Patience had sentenced to petrification. They freak out after Jay sells the Sam statue. But that is nothing compared to when he accidentally breaks it after Flower walks through him.
Oh, he's hot.
Sam! Sam!
It's almost as if time freezes as the shock and horror wash over everyone. It's moments like these that make us appreciate our loved ones that much more. And luckily, it turns out that the only person who got stoned in this episode is Jay.
I thought I lost you, and it was the worst feeling in the world. I'm so sorry that I yelled at you for wanting to celebrate Halloween. I love that you're excited about that stuff.
Number 6, Pete's scouting legacy. A camera crew asks Sam and Jay to film an episode of Dumb Deaths about Flower. However, they decide to pivot to Pete's story instead. As his death is recreated, Pete starts feeling worse about how it all happened.
What drives Pete Martino? Who is Pete Martino?
A good-hearted man, kind to his family and troops.
Dude, he's an idiot. Got killed by a little girl.
Okay, that's another take.
It's tough enough having his life cut short, but now his memory is being dragged through the mud. Talk about rubbing salt in the arrow wound. So Sam invites one of Pete's former troop girls, who gives a more accurate character evaluation. Unfortunately, she also highlights his fatal error.
For some reason on that day, I remember him handing out the bows and arrows before the safety demonstration.
What? That's not true.
40 years seems like an awfully long time for such a small detail.
No, this I'm sure about. He just seemed really distracted. He kept muttering something about donut holes.
Yet when an emergency strikes, Jennifer saves the day, thanks to lessons from her old troop leader. Pete realizes his legacy is more than one mistake.
Wait, so Jennifer can hear ghosts?
No, she just remembers.
Because you were a good troop leader.
I guess I was.
Number 5, Flower's relationship fears. Throughout the series, we've learned some tear-jerking details about Flower's past, like her ex starting a coffee shop in her honor and her estrangement from her family.
All these years, I thought my little sister died hating me. To learn that she didn't fills me with a great peace. She was the kindest person I've ever met, and I loved her so much.
In this episode, we find out why she has such a hard time giving her heart to Thor, and it hits hard. The morning after their first date, Flower acts like she doesn't remember anything. But it turns out that's just a front.
If it went well, then Thor and I could end up together, and it might be really amazing, and we could fall in love.
Those are all good things.
No, Sam, don't you see? Good things don't last.
She tells Sam that she's scared to get into a monogamous relationship because her last one ended in heartbreak. We're so used to seeing Flower at her ditziest, so learning that she had been carrying around all this pain is truly heartbreaking.
All not saying that no bad things can ever happen, but when they do, maybe we could be there for each other.
Maybe we can.
Number 4, Alberta's truth. Alberta's #1 fan, Todd Perlman, might be a bit eccentric, but he unknowingly brings Alberta some closure in her afterlife.
There's a ton of people just saying really nice things about Alberta.
Just listen to her album. She's incredible. How did I never hear of her before? Daddy would be proud.
However, in a later episode, even Todd is turned off by the former jazz star when he discovers her secret while researching for a podcast.
She went against the entire code that she lived by. I've dedicated my entire adult life to the study and appreciation of this woman. But now, I'm not even sure I know who she is.
Alberta's feelings about snitches have always been clear, so it's shocking to learn that she was one too. But it's hard to stay mad at her when she explains why.
Things weren't easy for a woman my size back then. Sure, we had Ma Rainey and Bessie Smith, but that didn't mean that was what the club owners were looking for. And I was tired of being overlooked.
Showbiz is tough, especially for women who don't look a certain way. She did what she had to do. It's hard to fault Alberta when you realize that she was just hitting back at an unjust society.
I struggle like everyone else, but I don't let that show. I need to be my loudest fan because God knows there's always been plenty of folks trying to tear me down.
Okay, I didn't even think this was possible, but this makes me love you even more.
Number 3, Hetty reveals her tragic end. In season 1, we learned that the circumstances surrounding Trevor's death are not exactly what he's led on.
You take my money clip, you get a cab. I want that back Monday, though.
Serious? Thank you, Trevor.
Oh, wait, a cab's not gonna let you in without any pants on. I learned that the hard way during my run of fun.
It's not until season 3 that we discover the truth about Hetty's passing. The ghosts need to rescue Flower, who has been trapped down a well for a while. With the clock ticking, they deliberate on how to do it, but Hetty offers a solution that also reveals her darkest secret.
You grab onto this, you dirty bohemian! I got it!
Come on, Flower!
All right, Flower.
Pull up, girl! Pull up, girl!
Yeah.
We learn that her husband Elias left her to face the consequences of his shady actions. Trapped and desperate, she turned to irreversible measures. We felt our hearts shatter into a million pieces as Hetty allowed the others to see her vulnerability in order to save a friend.
I did not know how to ask for help. I didn't even know that the telephone dialed out. At the time, I saw no other way out. But it was a mistake that I deeply regret.
Number 2, Nigel comes to terms with his feels. Like its UK counterpart, Ghosts takes a look at sexuality through a unique historical lens.
I like you.
You like me?
Yeah, please don't make me say it again.
Well, I like you too, Isaac.
We watch Continental Army officer Isaac come to terms with his sexuality and feelings for a British revolutionary ghost, Nigel. At first, Isaac tries to bottle up his truth because of the times he lived in, but he eventually opens up to Hetty in one of the most heartwarming moments of the series.
Yes, I just felt that if I ever spoke of these matters out loud, it would mean that everything that came before it was a lie. But if that is what it takes to speak the truth, then so be it. And I am so deeply sorry for deceiving you.
Still, he has a hard time getting close to Nigel because he feels guilty about his former wife. Thankfully, Sass helps him work through that. While things aren't always smooth sailing from there, Isaac and Nigel's first kiss warmed us down to the very cockles of our hearts. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Anything goes. Sam gets another chance at a high school dream.
The world has gone mad today, and good's bad today, and black's white today, and day's night today, when most guys today that women prize today are silly gigolos.
Hetty's bedtime angel. Hetty remembers her childhood bedtime buddy.
You'll pillage villages, slit men's throats and bash their heads against the wall. There you go, Hetty. There you go.
Thor and his son reunite. It's a rocky start, but the moment after Bjorn says father hits us right in the heart.
Father! Are you still there? I am here, son! What did you want to say? That I love you! Thank you for coming to find me!
Sasapi's stories. Sass sheds his imposter syndrome.
Goes to show that us ghosts and the livings are more connected than we realize.
Isaac's dinosaur. Their breakup hit us hard, but this moment gave us hope.
I didn't think you knew anything of the subject or cared for it.
I didn't, but I was meant to marry a man obsessed with dinosaurs. I studied them to be able to talk with my husband about his favorite subject. It was going to be your wedding present.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Pete's family visits. Pete is the sweetest guy, but sadly, that's not always appreciated by everyone, like his wife Carol. After finding her online, Pete convinces Sam to invite his family to the mansion.
Jerry! Carol! They can't see me.
I'm Carol, obviously. Hello.
Hey, Jay.
This is Jerry, my husband.
Did you say husband?
He soon discovers that Carol had moved on from their marriage shockingly fast. So fast, they were still married at the time. He's understandably furious, but Sam reminds him of his core values as outlined in his old trooper manual.
He wrote that this is more important than the rest because though we strive for perfection, we all fall short sometimes. And when it happens, we don't give up on our fellow trooper. We forgive.
The story has a somewhat happier ending when Pete learns he's a grandfather and his grandson is named in his memory.
Someone couldn't find their special socks. Could you, Pete?
Did you hear that? His name's Pete. I'm a grandpa.
In a later season, Pete even gets to walk his daughter down the aisle. We're not crying. A ghost just walked through us. Which moment had you reaching for the tissues? Let us know in the comments.
I'm sorry, you can't just snap your fingers and expect somebody to move on when they've just lost one of their best friends.
Whoa, I thought this is what you wanted. You've always said your mission is to help them move on.
It is what I want, but that doesn't mean it's easy.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.